Blessings and peace. This is the divine, supreme, spiritual warrior ancestors. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right, good people. We back at it again. Well, I was just thinking, right? When I was younger, and I used to be around my nephew. So I have older sisters. So I used to be around my nephew. So one day, me and my nephew was together, and my nephew said, "Well, yeah, Uncle, I'm gonna help you relax with me." This at this time we were living in York, Pennsylvania. We were living in York, Pennsylvania, right? It was like a older house that we lived in. It's a real old house, right? Because this was way back in the 80s, everybody, y'all. Like this was like we want to say the late 80s, because that was the late 80s, 1987. So we lived there and everything. It was nice, and you know, different things, that happen in your life that you don't think about until like a lot of other things happen. Like, so that's why I'm bringing this up. So man, I'm gonna tell you, man, me and my nephew, we used to chill. We would smoke ganja together, and he was the first one to put me onto that red wine. I'm not even gonna say the name of it because I'm not getting paid for that red wine, but it's a popular wine. I'm gonna say how much it usually costs. It usually runs like I guess like $13 to $15 a bottle, right? And it's like a nice table wine. But I'm not going to say the name of it because you're not supposed to say the names and stuff like that. So he was the first one to turn me on to that the sweet red table wine. Y'all know which wine I'm talking about. And it's another one. It's another red wine too with that same because my sister, she also likes to drink that same kind of wine. So I'm just going to assume that maybe that's why he liked it. So he was like, "Yeah, Unc, I'm going to turn you on." So this is in 1987. We drinking that and smoking the ganja, right? And then he also used to like to write like rap music and stuff like that too. So he would write the rap songs, and I would sit there and listen to him after he would write them, and he would go over it, and then I would listen to it, and then he'd be like, "Oh, you don't even know what I'm talking about," and like buzz, because you gotta really be catching on to everything that's like coming out, because you ain't like sometimes you don't catch on to it right away, like what I mean. But then you might notice like, oh yeah, so one particular night that we were in there, man, and I hadn't been drinking anything, right? And this gonna sound real crazy what I'm getting ready to tell y'all, and I'm bringing this up because everybody fights with this, but a lot of people don't want to admit to it, and this is the reason why a lot of people unalive themselves every day, in the USA and all the way around the world. Y'all ain't gonna believe this, but I hope y'all really do believe this, good people. My nephew is in a bed sleep. So a lot of times when he would be sleeping, I would be up, late night and stuff like that and couldn't sleep. I would play the Nintendo game, right? I think it was Duck Hunt. That was like one of my favorite games to play on that Nintendo that we had back in 1987. It was that Duck Hunt, and there's the other little game that you use with the with it. It's like disc, like you see the disc. So I would be playing stuff like that, right? So this particular night, man. So entity actually approached me, right? I could feel the energy. It was a dark energy, right? And the dark energy approached me, right? And it like came around me, right? And this was in that house in York, Pennsylvania, man. I don't know what was up with that house in 1987, even before I was there. But whatever that thing is, it was already there. It had to be, man. But this thing, man, you could not see it, but you could feel this energy of this thing, right? And my nephew sleep. My nephew is older than me too, but I'm his uncle, but he older than me, and of course my sister is older than me. Man, let me tell you, good people, whatever this thing is, it started like speaking to me, right? And this thing told me to stab him. And this is like, now, this reminds me now of one of these movies that I seen later on in life. But I hadn't even seen one of the movies in 1987 just yet, about like this type of scenario. So now that I'm older and all of this stuff has happened, that's why I'm bringing it up to y'all, because it's wild, right? So this presence of this being, right, is telling me to actually, cause like injure, like bodily harm to my nephew, right? Which I know isn't right? So it tries like, I'm gonna say a number of at least like 3 times. And now this is 1987. So at the time in 1987, this is really going to trip y'all out. Guess how old I am? I'm only 7 years old when all of this is going on in 1987. I was real advanced for my age, and in my family, we all are advanced, very intelligent people, right? And, early bloomers, in a lot of other ways, right? When it comes to like, I guess like intellectual stuff, comprehension, my parents are very intelligent people, right? So when this all happened to me then, I did not tell any adults about it or any children about it, right? And I'm telling y'all right now is because at this time in my life, I am 45 years old. And then at the 1987, I had finally got to see all types of movies and all types of other stuff involving stuff like this. So I'm going to tell y'all like this. That was the devil. That was the devil. That was the devil. Whatever the hell that was, that definitely was the devil. That was the devil. That was the devil. That was the devil. Because nothing has happened to me like that again, and I live in another state now, I live in Maryland, but I'm just saying, good people, that had to be the devil. So y'all stay safe from the devil, and we'll kick it later on. Peace out.